Hello and welcome to part 2 of Almost Spring. Oh man, this little 8 by 11, it's like we're spending as much time on these little ones as we are on the big ones because, well, it's a lot of stuff to get in there. But all kidding aside, part 2 was balance. So we worked on making the trees not too dark, not too light, and making sure that everything balances out pretty good. And I think so far it's really nice. We have this nice dark back here, these lead in here with this stream that has the water running through it, and I think we've really come a long way. So tomorrow is going to, in part 3, is going to be detail, and we started getting into detail today, so it's really starting to look really, really nice. I want to mention too that these paintings, these original paintings on the tutorial, I have been putting them up on the my website on georgecoll.podia.com, and we'll see how that goes. So they're all for sale, and this one will be up there too after it dries. All right, what else can I say? Keep painting. Get outside and paint. Paint with your friends. Get critiques, and don't be intimidated by a white canvas. All right, let's get started. Okay, bye. Well, good morning and welcome to part 2 of, what do we call this? This is Almost Spring. Okay, with that out of the way, great intro. Okay, today is Balance Day, so let's get started with trying to make all these different values come together and support each other. Okay, so with that, I am ready. I know this looks like a mess, and but I got a good feeling of where things are. That's the important thing for me. And I am ready to get started. So I did something besides put the little sky holes in for my homework. I went over here and I worked on these trees. You see that? So I'll show you what I did. So you get some yellow ochre, a little bit of gray. I'm sorry, it's not yellow ochre, it's Naples. Naples yellow. Maybe just a touch of green. No, I'm going to put a touch of red in it. Be easy with this red stuff. And let's put a little bit of more gray in it. And what I want you to do is put some, if you really look at the reference, there's kind of a yellowy thing that shows that there's a little small branches. And you can't, in this type of thing, put every little branch, unless you want to spend all afternoon doing that with a 2-hair brush. And I appreciate those people that do that, but I can't do it for you guys. And you see how I'm just kind of muting some of the background here? And I'll put some up in here too, in these trees. And you can see the background there now too. I'm going to put a little bit more here, a little lower down in this area. All right. This is a little too strong with the yellow I put in there. Just kind of smudge it down. So we have smudgy, smudgy, smudgy. Okay? Not too complicated. He says confidently. Okay. Now let's look for something with a sharp edge on it and make some branches. Okay. So what I'm going to use is a rigger. A rigger is like a long, thin brush. Let's see if I have thinner riggers. This is a rigger. I can't even see, it's so painted up. Can't tell, but it's a thin rigger. So we want to go into making a mixture for our rigger, which are going to be the trunk. So I see some yellow in there, and I see some white also. You know, I think I also see a touch of green. So I put too much Viridian in there, but the red is balancing it out. Red is the opposite of green. You see, it's kind of a light mixture here, and we are going to put those in now. So the rigger's kind of dry, so I had to get some Gamsol on it. And what you're going to do is get these little branches in. Trying to get the goop off the side. I want to kind of lay the side down. And if you have just enough the right amount of paint, it comes off like that. Just a hint of a branch. And I twirl it at the same time. And then you have to put some side branches in going more horizontal. So I'm just twisting my brush into the product, and then I'm also twisting it once I get it on the canvas. And I know you want to connect it to something, and I just twirl it across, and I don't relate it to anything. I just have to have some horizontal fillets. Now for this little guy in the back, I just get just a little bit on my palette knife, a little bit, and get that on. Good here. I'm on time. Whew. Good. 22 minutes left. Just saying hints of this stuff. There's a little guy back here. I'm not doing very well of bringing him along, but I will try to maybe make a few more of these verticals back in here somewhere. Okay. Whew. Let's clean the rigger, because they're really easy to screw up if you don't clean them. And I also dip a little oil on them if I'm not going to use them again, which I just did. And the oil I'm using is safflower oil. Safflower by Gamlin. Or go to your kitchen and get some. Okay. Now what I want to do is balance those trees out a little bit. Let's see if I can use anything here. I've got some maple stuff up here, but I really need some like cad yellow medium in here. And I also want to make some rust in there, so I'm going to get some transparent oxide red, can do it. So I have a darker and a not so dark. Put a little gray in here too. And let's get up in the trees. And I might as well make a green too, so let's go ultra blue and yellow ochre. Yellow ochre, yellow ochre, yellow ochre. It's a nice green, rich, and I'm going to add some cad yellow to it. Got some goop in there. Get that out of there. And I need to make it thoroughly mixed. And I got a stiff brush, so I don't know, this was given to me. It's a Royal Langnickel MSGE 150-8. That's too much to remember, for God's sakes. And I'm going to make some darks. More blue. More transparent oxide red. Dark. There we go. A few more darks in various places. Dark. And I'll put more darks in here. Oh, this is a pretty little painting, isn't it? It's really pretty. I still haven't worked out this area yet, but I think there's going to be a lot of detail in this little area, and I'm hoping to work that out tomorrow. Let's get some of these warmer colors in here. I should have cleaned my brush a little better. And I'm just adding some little bits of warm in here. Oop, that's too much. That's too much. We've got to go back down and knock it down a little bit with some green. It's a little too much. So as you can see, I'm putting some warms behind these darker fellows that I have here. Oh, too much! Sorry. Remember, with oils, you can always erase. See, just like Mongo it out of there. All right, this is too strong now. These reds are way too strong. So with this softer mixture I made over here with transparent oxide red and this lighter color that we've been putting in, let's soften some of these reds with some warms. And that is nice. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. I want to strengthen these trees a little bit right here. I'm just making them a little bit more relatable to the stuff that's behind them. And all right, now there's some gray, maybe even purple in here. So I'm gonna mix up some, here's some diazazine over here, very weak diazazine. And I'm gonna put some light gray in it. Uh-oh, lost my image, sorry. Have to go back to my image. Okay. Here we go. Now we're back. Let me freeze that image on my screen so it doesn't go away again. Thank you. Very good. My apologies. Okay. I need my little brush back. What I'm apologizing to the right, I have a monitor that runs off my little laptop. And I didn't freeze it. You know, you gotta save it. You can make your images stay up there for long periods of time if you ask it to and push the right buttons. I think I'm a little, need a few more breaks in here. These little guys need some background holes. And that's what this is that I'm working on right now. And that was a little too sloppy, but let's go back and get some more worms in here. I'm jumping around, I know. All right, let's get this gray purple stuff taken care of. And I'm using my small brush with this purple, gray, and white mixture. And doing the best I can to show there's little guys in here that are important. And they're kind of all over the place. There's also some darks in there, so I'm going to get a little bit of greeny something or other in here. A little bit of red. And get some darks in some of these. Let's get some of this warmer color in the shadows here. And maybe some yellows too. All right, I'm going to look at my time here and see. Okay, this is kind of needs some jazzing up. The value is just not specific enough. Doesn't have enough punch. So this mixture I had with some Naples in it and a little bit of Viridian. And you see how that can really help out the situation. And I'll put some of that in other places too. Oh, that really, really is nice. I've got some really fine green. What is this stuff? It's emerald. Emerald is strong. Be careful with it, Lacey. Just overdid it. But a little bit of emerald can go a long way. And I'll put some in various places. I think I need some darks right in here. Good darks. We're going to go blue, transparent oxide brown, blue, viridian, viridian. I need a good dark right in here. And I think what I'm doing is telling the viewer there's a stream back there. Let me get back and take a look at this. I didn't make any coffee this morning, so I should be sipping my coffee when I step back. Oh, that's looking good. Oh, these branches are really nice. Okay. Let's dive into this lower section that needs some red in it. So I'm getting some cad red and some ultra blue cad red, ultra blue, and a little bit of transparent oxide red. Nice rich dark color. And I'm going to put some of that in this area here. To say, hey, we're dark down here. Holy simoly, that was really nice. I think I need some branches in there. So I will go to this really, really light stuff I have here with, see if I can do anything. I don't think I'm doing a very good job with this brush emulating that. So I'm going to go to my connoisseur and put a little bit on my edge of my knife, and that does the trick. Nothing like a little connoisseur to tell the story here. I'll go back and cover up some of these that are too strong, but a few branches really help. Okay, wow, this is coming along pretty good. I see some, what is this, kind of a squeaky green back there in a few places. It's kind of a yellow green, so I've got some emerald with that yellow stuff, and I'm going to be putting some of that in the trees. I'm going to go a little bit more emerald, kind of an emerald yellow. And I'm putting in these, kind of holding my breath to see if this in fact does what I want it to do. I think a little of that does the trick. And if you don't like it, let's just go back in and darken it up in a few places. Or really darken it up in a few places. Okay, And let's go transparent oxide brown and really get a few good darks in here. A few. This stuff is really, you get that transparent oxide brown in there, man, you're going to get dark. And if it's too dark, just come back and go on top of it or come through it and add some lights to it to give it the right balance. Which I just did, I think. Okay. I'm going to go to transparent oxide red, and I'm mixing it into this Naples color, and I'm going to start softening some of these edges here. Okay. Now when I really look at this area back here that I haven't done, I want to put some good basic stuff down for tomorrow, which would be maybe a dark. There's some darks coming through here. Something's going on here. Somebody by the name of Spam is calling me. I must be popular. He calls me a lot. So I'm going to get my dark here. I'm going to get some blue, brown, viridian, good old dark stuff. And I'm going to put some darks in a few places to kind of show that this is kind of the bottom of rocks. And try not to overdo it. Okay, so that's a good base for tomorrow. And I see some gray-green in there, so I'll go some light gray and some emerald. I'm going to make some darker gray. And I'll be putting some of that in also. And that will be the basis for what's going on for part 3. Now, I have a minute or two left. I want to review some of the stuff I've done. So we started out here and putting this smudgy stuff behind the birches or whatever these are, they're probably aspen. Then we really worked all around the painting to try to keep the balance here to make things work together. And if you can see, it's really working well together. But a thing that's bothering me right now is this strong line here. And what I'm going to do is break it in one section right here so it doesn't look like what I call in painting a snake. We had just a little bit of blue in this thing yesterday. So I'm going to go whack right through there. And that's the good stuff. So I think this was cerulean. Put some of this cerulean right here in these kind of a drop area. See if I can make that a little stronger. I'm making this up, folks, as I go. I mean, I see a little bit of this here, but in the reference, but I'm pushing it. So here's how I'm pushing it, with some strong blues above the darks here. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, Nice. All right, I'm bringing this to a close. We're having too much fun. All right, thanks for coming by for part 2. Tomorrow we'll finish this painting. All right, bye.